Wee. Surprise stream an hour late. Do. I'm very sorry to be late, but I was very, very tired before, so I kind of took a nap. Woke up about half an hour ago, and now I'm here. So, I'm going to go and try to play through as much... to play through as much of the event as possible. Because the event is only running today and tomorrow, so what I don't get to do today, I'll do tomorrow instead. Don't really have a choice. Well, I mean, I do have the choice to not do it, but I want to do it. So, yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. I do hope that everyone's doing alright today. On this first work day after the break. Oh. Hang on a sec. Except for that, I'm doing alright, but I also just saw something. 1 second. I think I'll have to look at that in a different way, because it's very laggy while I'm running the game and everything. So do give me a second. Second workday on a... Second? Second? When did you have your first birthday this year? Oh, that sucks. I can tell, yeah. That really does suck. I was very sorry for the delay here. Saw something and I'm curious now. Hunt Showdown posted a video. And the picture of the video... Huh. I hope that they balance as well. I don't know, man. Cool, though. Yeah, luckily I only had to go to work today, but I still just really didn't want it. The good news is that there wasn't there wasn't much to do in terms of the water damage. Simply down to the fact that most of it was just dried up, so the fuses or most of the machines did work. There's one that didn't, but so be it, I guess. I Friday I had the presence of mind to go by car. Today I took train, had to buy a ticket because I ordered a student ticket. Okay. 20 minutes later. Oh, for fuck's sake, no. Deutsche Bahn. Deutsche Bahn. Ah, that sucks. Now we are going to go back into Deep Oblivion Part 2, where we have finished quite a lot last time. And we stopped at a point where we investigated, or 4-4 investigated a factory that seemingly belonged to Gerard Group, but in a previous thing that we have seen in that event, Gerard Group has demanded another company that works together with them, say FABN, to hand over properties to sell. So in this factory, we know that there's been the manufacturing of a non-working vaccine. In fact, it makes the sickness worse. And also, there was probably experimentation on all of the little girls that we have found 2 of. Because I can't generate a signal which caused the track to shut down. Usually it's a different rail company that causes my problems. Ah, I see. That's fair. So, I know the Gerard Company is getting fucked over by someone else. And, while we don't want Gerard Company or Gerard Group in charge, we also probably do not want the other company in charge either. So, let's hop on back in. Few days later. Kalina and the group have made the move. The documents have already been passed to Haley. The production line transfer to Gerard didn't go to waste after all. See, there we go. Chairman Rurik would never have imagined that while he thought he held full control over 3rd-gen technology, you had already, with its help, seized the lifeline of Odessa and surrounding purification zones. He even took your dagger in its own hands and drove it right into his own heart. Gerard has always handled the transport of the culture medium, and knew of its cooperation with Paradeus. Even if the medium later changed hands several times, Rurik must have realized what it was doing with it. But urgency and arrogance dulled his senses. Now I finally understand why you, and FABN, have always indulged Gerard Group's requests. The lullaby was never meant for Odessa and the RNC alone. Even Chairman Rurik has fallen asleep without realizing it. Send a message to Rurik. Then tell it that preparations for the next periodic meeting must begin. I'll be bringing it to the promised gift. Time to disturb the sweet dream of Odessa's residents for a moment. Rurik receives a message from Cocoon, from which he finally learns the truth about the production line obtained from FABN, and that the incident against the Gerard Group has passed Healy's review, soon to be filed in the Oblast's court. Given the Gerard Group's previous contradictions, its executives have not yet been approved for detention, but they must report to the designated location within 6 hours to await trial. Thank you for the bad bat. Did that work? Yes, it did. Thank you for the bats. Additionally, refusal to appear will result in a special task unit personally inviting you to attend. So please be mindful of your safety, Chairman Rurik. Reading the message word by word, Rurik explodes with fury. The production line was used for this? FABN, those are rabbit dogs! Cocoon! Where's Cocoon? Get in here! Cocoon! The secretary has always been at his desk as big a call, does not respond to his calls this time. Where the fuck is she? Rick frantically dials a sequence of numbers on his terminal. The waiting tone methodically devours every shred of his patience, feeding his agitation and dread. Finally, the line connects. Apologies for the wait. Where the hell have you been? Get me State FBN's representative right now. Me? I've just received notice from it that my reassignment to your support team has ended. Naturally, I'm returning to my original post. After all, a secretary can't serve two masters, can she? You were in on this from the start, weren't you? I wouldn't say in on it. I'm simply carrying out the assignments given by my superiors. And I did handle the task you entrusted to me, Chairman. Very meticulously, I'd say. Don't waste my time with nonsense. Without Gerard, the Lullaby Project can't continue in Odessa. Target me, and it won't let you off the hook. No, you can rest easy on that. As I said before, it will never abandon its plans for Odessa. The Lullaby Project will proceed as intended. It's just that the Lullaby can be sung by more than one voice, don't you think? You fools seem to forget who owns a third Jindal taking access rights. Oh, do we? I recall that about 2 weeks ago, yes, the night of your data center was attacked, you so generously shared all those secrets with every core family. Noticing Cocoon's smug tone, Rurik rushes to check the system logs. By Cocoon's meticulous cover-ups, the hidden data now lies exposed. All third Jindal restrictions have been lifted, and the explanations. When did you do this? Instead of worrying about that, I'd suggest you focus on self-preservation. From what I've heard, the evidence Haley received directly implicating Gerard in criminal activity is extremely detailed. Once the trial begins, you're very likely to lose. And when you do, well, I'll let you think about what comes next. Consider that my final favor to you, as former secretary. Bon voyage, Chairman Rurik. Cocoon hangs up on him. Rurik curses as he punches in several other numbers, but not a single call connects. Damn it! Bunch of backstabbing bastards! He holds the communicator across the room, then after a few furious pants, picks it back up a few seconds later. I'll make you all pay for this, just you wait! Rurik dials his driver's number. Hey, get my car out of the garage, I'm going to the airport. Rurik's private sedan speeds out of Odessa towards a private airfield in the satellite city. He tries again and again to call people, only to find that most of his contacts have already blocked him. Cowards! You never shy about taking my money, but the moment there's trouble, you all vanish! Still seething, he scrolls through the contacts until his finger stops on one name. This won't pick up for sure. After a few seconds of the call tone, the line connects. Rurik's expression eases slightly. Legislator Rurik. Major, you've got to help me. I've been framed. Then you should go to the designated location, appear in court as instructed, and wait for the verdict. No, they'll throw me in prison. They'll fabricate even more evidence and I won't be able to defend myself. Major, you know what kind of person I am. Please, just delay the trial for a bit. I'll find proof. Proof that the Gerard group and I are innocent. If that's truly the case, following the process will still allow you to clear your name. Please trust the authorities. I advise... Enough! Fed up with Major Fedya's calm tone, Rurik loses all patience. Don't forget what you owe me. Everything you've done these years. You, a poor wretch who's never seen a battlefield. How do you think you became a major? Who do you think made that happen? If I fall, you're going down with me. You're right. Once your crimes come to light, I won't escape punishment either. Good, you understand then? But that's just as well. What did you say? Odessa's prosperity doesn't need people like me. Stains never disappear. They're simply ignored by those who choose to look away. Legislator Rurik, I'm grateful for your past support and mentorship, but what I've seen recently has made it impossible for me to keep deceiving myself and turning a blind eye to Gerard's crimes. I'll stand with you and face judgment under the law. Fedya ends the call. Damn it! Safety Cocoon, Fedya, Numfan, all the sycophantic bastards! I'm gonna let a single one of you get away with this. Rurik opens a hidden interface on his terminal, a manic grin twisting his feature. You think Duran's been working all these years for nothing? You think you can stop me? Dream on! Send every last one of you to join that idiotic former chief in hell. Laughing hysterically, Rurik slams the activation key. A dark red progress bar begins to crawl forward. Okay, no idea what that means. Fedya, clad in a bulletproof vest and sat quiet in the Special Security Administration's vehicle, stands down at his communicator. He listens to the low, steady hum of the engine. He knows he's setting out to hunt down his own benefactor. Gerard's crimes, Rurik's reaction, none of it surprises him. His mind remains calm as it always does. He doesn't even remember when he became this numb. Convinced that it was protecting peace, preserving Odessa's prosperity, he has spent years justifying his blindness and cowardice. The figures he once falsified were like grey snow drifting through images of the contamination zones. They slipped through the filtration grids, pulling up silently, freely, and he dismissed them as nothing more than dust. Now the snow comes cascading down in an avalanche, burying everything. All he's seen the past few days, the blood, the helplessness, forces him to face the truth at last. Fyodor Andreyevich Sokolov has never truly understood anything, nor did he stand above it all as he once believed. And his so-called tolerance has been nothing but ignorance, because he's never walked through the snow himself. A notification pops up in his communicator. Based on conclusive evidence directly linking the Gerard group to criminal activity, and given that executives, including Chairman Rurik Gerard, have failed to appear at the designated location within the deadline, authorization is granted to arrest all senior Gerard personnel. The message drifts through Fedya's mind like a falling leaf, landing softly on the dark river within. He raises his communicator. All units, attention. Proceed with the arrest of the Gerard Group senior executives. Move according to pre-assigned squad divisions. Lever, you lead the doors in tracking down the Gerard Group's chairman, Rurik Gerard. His vehicles has been located. Coordinates have been synced to you. Got it. We're already closing in on his position near the satellite city. Here's to a smooth operation, Major Fedya. I'm counting on you. Fedya pockets the communicator, taps the Special Security Administration badge on his chest, and lifts his head. Move out! For Fedya, this may well be the last mission he'll ever undertake as Major of the SSA. But that falling leaf stirs the water at last. Elsewhere. A jeep bursts out from a side road, sirens blaring. Security automatons block the traffic from other directions, clearing a path for Lever's team. Lever, that's his car ahead. Finally caught up with this slippery bastard. Rebella, Lena, radio weapons. Don't let him get away. Got it. Leave it to me. Rebella and Lena lean out the window, lit windows and weapons raised. Lever slams the accelerator. Just as Rurik's car came into range, a burst of gunfire tears down toward the jeeps. Lena, look out. Lever jerks the wheel, swerving hard. Lena ducks back inside just in time to see as her side of the jeep scrapes past the roadside barrier. An ambush? What the hell? Aren't this road's supposed to be sealed? Illegal armed droids. Why are they showing up now? Quit complaining and take them down. Well, well, well. Oh, damn. They were standing a tiny bit too close together. It's a two-turn one. Oh wait, no, it's not. I'm just blind. I don't think I'll hit anyone with this. Oh, good to cover that then. This to you. And that's done. They don't make quick work of the rogue automatons blocking their path, but Rurik's car has already vanished. Lever checks the tracker quite quickly. Back in the car, we can still catch him. Hey, Heron, how are you doing? They don't scramble back into the Jeep, but before they can resume pursuit, an emergency transmission from Kalina comes through. Lever floors the pedal and takes the call. We just caught up to Rurik, but we were ambushed by illegal combat units. The distance isn't too big yet, we can still catch up. Lever, abort pursuit immediately. Head toward EO7. Lever frowns, but keeps the foot on the gas. Why? Time for work. That's understandable. I was also really tired when I got home. That's also why I'm late. I hope you'll have a great evening, though. The first... Thank you for the earbuds. The first work day after vacation is always difficult. A floof. I really want more art of Levy, but I need to think of what kind of art. Thank you for the earbuds, Bakasura. Could make a joke. I can try a little. I mean, the sizes would fit that way, I guess. The Gerard Group's production and research system were found to contain hidden backdoor programs. Rogue just activated them. So Gerard writes about to malfunction again. But you already shut down a bunch of them after the last incident. It shouldn't be too bad, right? 45 is better. Most of the shutdowns last time were security units. This time the scale may be much wider. Exactly. I've received reports that Gerard made automatons across Odessa are suffering massive system failures. Even several factories they helped build are experiencing production malfunctions. Also, Gerard has stored illegal armed automatons in warehouses across Odessa. Reports confirm they are now activated, spreading chaos throughout urban areas. So that ambush wasn't an isolated case. No. All local security forces in the satellite cities are being deployed to maintain order, but though the EO7 has the highest concentration of rogue droids, you're the nearest combat specialist unit, get there immediately and assist. But I'm talking about Lena and Lever. I prefer Lena, who's in opinion. I prefer Lever, that's exactly what I mean. About which one's better, IRL, both are pretty much equal. MP45 is just more well known. But I prefer Lever. What about Rurik? It's obvious he's creating this chaos to buy himself a time to escape. If he makes it out of Odessa, we'll never get him back. A new SSA task force has been dispatched to take over your pursuits. Airspace interception is already in the way. The droid malfunctions and system failures all cooked up with Gerard. Can't your own engineers clean up this mess themselves? The executors we've detained already surrendered the shutdown keys and back to source codes, but none of them work. The chaos hasn't stopped. So the keys are invalid. Or the codes are wrong. Or Rurik has administrative codes that are even higher permissions and there's nothing they can do about it. We don't know yet. The technicians are still investigating. At present, the Odessa Oblast government has lost control over vast numbers of automatons and facilities, including the Selene power plant in ODE7. Kalin, that's the one that... Yes, it was authorized for new energy research. Large collapsed particle containment tanks were buried beneath it with the local government approval. They've got a gigantic dirty bomb lying underground under their control with a complete automation system that is now malfunctioning. Great! Amazing. You're not about to tell me those dangerous tanks are about to blow, are you? I wish I weren't. But the plant systems and infrastructure are all built by Gerard Group. Because of the back-to activation, the Vector engines are running at full overload and can't be shut down. If the engines overheat and trigger a generator explosion, those tanks will... The power plant has already requested emergency aid. You're to head there immediately and assist local PSA and technical personnel in resolving the crisis. For context, there may be people that still remember the time when Angie detonated a dirty bomb in our own vicinity and absolutely irradiated the remains of a ruined city. That was a canister that was about fist-sized. I don't think we're talking about fist-sized storage tanks here. For Pete's sake, how many nuclear blasters does it take before humanity learns? Eva makes a sharp turn and the Jeep veers decisively towards a new direction. We're heading to ODS7 right now, but Colleen, the fact that Gerard's programs have unpatched back doors and that the termination keys for the rogue machines don't work at all, I suspect foul play. Do you remember that mysterious door we encountered in the server room? Electronic warfare capability was exceptional. The destruction of the server room and the ensuing chaos were also tied to her. If she's also behind this incident, it's going to be hard to resolve. I understand. The US government has already issued orders to assemble all mechanical units with high combat capability that were not manufactured by Gerard, as well as technical personnel. Reinforcements will soon arrive at the satellite cities, including ODE-7. At the same time, the Oblast government has determined that the Gerard Group's actions constitute outright treason against Odessa. The counter-insurgency operation has been codenamed Operation Exister. Its objective, to completely suppress the Gerard Group and its illegal armed automatons, restoring law and order to Odessa. Hello, Leith, but I am not a fox. As for whether it will succeed, Kalina pauses briefly. We'll just have to give it everything we've got. Kalin, what about the residents and the wounded in ODE-7? All underground shelters in ODE-7 have been opened. I'm leading non-force armed forces there myself to assist local securities in evacuating civilians and the injured. I ain't no pup either. Huh? You're going to ODE-7 yourself? Yes. If the Selene power plant explodes, the collapsed particle stored in its containment tanks will spread with the blast, and the protection provided by underground shelters will drop sharply. Even without danger, large-scale combat between automatons could easily cause collateral damage. Everyone in ODE-7 who isn't involved should be evacuated right now, shouldn't they? Thank you for the ad pats, but I'm still not a pup. The feasibility of an evacuation is still being discussed by the Oblast government. Is that even up for debate? The chaos has already blocked most of ODE-7's and sea routes. The land route across Odessa Bay Bridge would force evacuees too close to the white zone. Most of ODE-7's evacuees are infected with elites. If they approach Odessa, the collapse radiation levels in the city could rise, risking another elite outbreak. So they sealed off the bridge. Temporarily is what they told me. That's practically a death sentence for everyone on the island. Crossing the bridge by force isn't so simple either. Due to the sudden escalation of the security threats, the turns on Odessa's fixed quarantine wall are about to go fully active. The Odessa Bay Bridge is a double tower, double capable suspension bridge, structurally fragile, easily damaged by stray fire. To preserve the bridge for future evacuation and reinforcements, and to prevent enemy units from breaking through toward Odessa, the government has narrowed the bombardment range along the bridge and shifted firepower to the coast between the bridge and the city. But if the evacuation convoys try to cross the bridge now, they'll need heavy escorts, and they'll still risk getting caught in stray bombardment once they're descent. So, we just wait. Legislator Zimmerman is pushing hard to finalize the evacuation plan, and Director Kruger is applying pressure as well. For now, all we can do is help the local authorities contain the chaos, prevent widespread panic, and protect the people in ODE-07. I've ordered Sopper to go straight to ODE-07, but with the train shut down, she's now waiting for UAV transport. She'll join you later. Leva, Lena, Robella, I'm counting on you. Galin, you be careful too. I hope we can all see each other again. Well. That's an interesting change of things. I did not expect the humanity extinction blast being triggered by that idiot. Or potentially triggered by that idiot. It appears to have taken a turn for the cyberpunk. Wrong game. Welcome to Girls Online. This is a game that I've been playing for quite a while. Especially the game before this. It is usually full of political machination, betrayals, and intrigue. At least GFL 1 was. This is now the first time that we kind of have that in GFL 2. Rurik steps out of the car and strides towards his private jet, already prepared for takeoff. I know you were. I thought I'm not a fox. Move faster, damn it! He slaps away the umbrella the driver offers and steps into the rain. His steps are hurried. He lets the drops fall freely on his carefully groomed hair. Welcome aboard, Mr. Rurik. Rurik doesn't stop. He just for the driver to pass over his briefcase. Then he walks straight up to the stairs without looking back. The cabin door closes. After a short taxi, the plane slowly lifts off. Watching the building shrink beneath him, Rurik finally exhales in relief and sinks into his seat. Sir, perhaps you'd like to change out of your coat and dry your hair. Yes. Rurik nods, removes his coat and gazes out the window until the smoke and fire below turns into tiny specks in his view. He accepts a glass of champagne from another crew member, takes a sip and closes his eyes, enjoying the gentle towel wiping his hair. You decide fools. As long as Gerard stands, you live in paradise. Without Gerard, all that awaits you is hell. The crew member pauses for a moment at Rurik's outburst, and continues wiping. If only they were like you, aware of who truly deserves reverence, things wouldn't have come to this. Yes, sir. Why are you shaking? Once you get me out of Odessa, you'll never have to worry about your future again. A dull thud breaks Rurik's calm. He opens his eyes, irritated. What the hell are you? The curse freezes in his throat. The soft fingertips that had been gently massaging his scalp through a towel have been replaced with cold steel. Well, well, well. I know that voice. Now it's my turn to serve you, Gerard. A familiar voice speaks behind him. Dodge you! Dodger presses the gun against his head and steps around to face him. You didn't think you could still order me around, did you? What the hell? What? That's so random. What does he have to do with that? What? Looks like Okuna's done a pretty thorough job of pre-programming your neural cloud. Rurik glances at the crew members lying motionless nearby, and then pretends to glare at Dodger in anger while signaling subtly to another crew member emerging from the cockpit. That has nothing to do with her. I willingly erased most of my records. It is regrettable, however, that how the habits you programmed into me still linger, except when it comes to dealing with you. No croak, it's a famous exit code. Yes, I guess, but not to do with a fox. But I am, in fact, not a fox, I am a wolf. Wait. Dodger keeps the gun steady, her other hand clutching her chest. There's no trace left of your ugliness or folly here, but the fire of disgust still burns bright. Give up your pathetic little schemes. You won't get a response, except perhaps a hymn for your life, as your life fades away. Bastard. What do you even gain from signing with State FBN? Don't forget who... A gunshot rings out. Bright red stains spread across the wall carpet in the cabin. The one who orchestrated the mechanical chaos dies by a mechanical unit's gun. The audience will find this ending most satisfying. Now forever hold your peace. Dodger ignores Rurik's cooling body, turning instead to the other crew member, The person's already shed the uniform jacket, revealing bionic skin that can only be found on a doll. What? Whoa. Okay. I don't mean the body, I'm used to that, but the voice. That was Groza's voice. Okay. Kukuna successfully delayed the sealing of the back doors. The Odessa government won't be able to regain control of most automatons and facilities for the time being. Next, I'll coordinate with her to amplify the chaos that Gerard set in motion. She has sent you your next orders as well. Darcher checks the message, then lets out a theatrical sigh. So I don't get an invitation for the next banquet. What a shame. Please kindly drop me off somewhere along the way. No problem. I've preloaded the commands. The aircraft will descend to a safe altitude in 20 seconds. Much obliged. Then allow me to take my leave. Darcher opens the cabin door. A blast of wind tears through the cabin, scattering the other doll's hair. The other doll gestures towards the rude, lifeless body slumped on the ground. And what about him? A devil from hell should return to hell. Throw him out. Whether it's the churning river of blood or the concrete forest below, either can be his grave. Right. Then, dear comrades, I entrust Odessa to your care. Give it the grandest feast imaginable. Even if I cannot attend, I will watch the lights from afar. Do not disappoint me. With that, Darcher curtsies deeply, then falls backward and vanishes into the rain. Alright then. I don't know why there's a doll with Groza's voice there. Did they copy her or something? Leva's team arrives at the Selene power plant. As expected, the site is in total chaos. The security automatons still functioning normally and PSA personnel are fighting the hold back with waves of illegal combat units. Weaving through gunfire with the quick, precise movements, the dolls make their way to the Special Security Administration Officer coordinating the defense. Non-for auxiliary dolls, Leva, Lena, Robella, reporting for duty. Acknowledged. Miss Leva, Miss Carlin and Major Fedya have instructed me to send you immediately to the central control room and assist the technicians with this system malfunction. We'll handle things here. Watch out. Lena tackles the officer out of the way as the drone explodes overhead, crashing exactly where it was standing. It was hit by an illegal armed automaton. The young man, who seemed composed and professional just a moment ago, finally betrays his age. He appears dazedly at the still spinning rotors, still half in shock. Thank you. Lena, you stay here. Rebella and I will head to the control room. Huh? Okay. Leva, be careful. You too. Leva and Rebella rush into the central control room, where several technicians are frantically at work. No good. The backup patch failed. The system's still on attack. Shut the command start and executing. Our computing power can't keep up. Optimize the algorithm, try again. We have to stop the engine. We already tried several times, but there's been no progress at all. Every time we fix it, it gets overwritten immediately. So someone really is pulling the strings from behind the scenes. This is bad. Leva steps forward with a frown. Auxiliary dolls for Nomfa, Leva and Rebella, here to render support. What's the current situation? Finally, the cavalry say, actually, the technician explains the crisis at the power plant. So most of the generators have been reclaimed, but the ones connected to the vector engines are still out of control. Yes. Originally, all generators here were part of a unified installation 3 years ago, and most control authorizations rested with the Oblast government. But after the new energy research began, 2 large generators were repurposed and rebuilt for secondary developments, and the control systems were isolated. The Gerard group handled most of that work. So that Gerard group left backdoors in those two generator systems. Judging by the situation, yes. Those backdoors are nearly impossible to seal. We're trying to reclaim partial control, at least enough to activate the cooling systems and push output to the maximum. But to fully regain control, if electronic means some work, what about physical shutdown? Impossible. The former chief was worried about sabotage causing a safety incident, so he specially rebuilt the generator rooms for those two units. The isolation gate is currently blocked. To open it, several authorized personnel must be physically present to verify the biometrics simultaneously. Have you contacted them? We have, but with comms and transport in shambles right now, some can't be reached, while others are still on their way. The generators are inside are already unstable. Forcing entry into the building would be too dangerous, but judging by the fight out there, it'll be too late by the time everyone gets here. Not to mention, those who are missing could be... Rebella trails off, unable to voice the grimmer possibility. Continue handling the back doors and work to regain system control. Rebella, let's access level 2 and check the security system for the isolation gates. Understood. Tier 23. This machine looks really weird. Neva, do you have any information on it? Let's see. This is a mammoth, isn't it? Do you see the dozer blade attachment on its front? This multifunctional piece of exploratory equipment combines demolition, siege, and protection capability into a single unmanned ground vehicle. Fortunately, I know how to deal with it. Got it. We'll support you, so take care of it ASAP. That's a very nonsensical vehicle. The hell is this supposed to do? Well, this could be a turret back here that extends afterwards. I don't know why you won't just have it exposed all the time. I'm sorry a little bit, but I am now in analyzation mode of this armored vehicle and it doesn't make much sense. Wait, what's for you? Sure. Why not? It's very nonsensical. Like, why would you design it that way? I'll just kill it, but like, to be fair, I think I know the one you're talking about, which was just inspired by an M113. So... It's a cursed M113 in the 40k universe, because some other people have showed it to me, and I'm pretty sure that it has turrets and sponsons and shit. Which do not make the design better, they make it worse. Significantly so. Burn, baby, burn. Oh, Leva's just gonna kill them all before anything happens. Even Rebella examined the security systems for the area around the isolation gates. The design is quite solid, but still a bit behind the government's security systems. In principle, all systems used by the UNC network are supposed to be built and managed under Healy's unified architecture, which ensures system-wide security. Why would the former chief develop new security systems just for this facility? To use the government systems, he would have needed upper-level approval, perhaps. There was interference somewhere. You mean Haley was compromised? I'm not sure. Maybe the former chief suspected that too, which could be why he designed an independent security system for the isolation gate instead of letting the Gerard group handle it. It's probably one of the few areas where he still had direct authority. Right. It'd be hard to break through, but since Gerard wasn't involved, there shouldn't be any backdoors planted. Now that the power plant's level 2 has shifted back to local mode, even that mysterious hacker can't interfere with the backdoor-free system. That means we can break through without outside internal disruption. There are 5 layers of access authentication locks. Won't be easy to crack. But this is our best opening yet. Let's disconnect for now and coordinate with the technicians. If reinforcements arrive smoothly and we push hard, we could finish this in a few hours. Yeah, I like to also make very sure that people understand that I don't hate 40k vehicle design for being 40k. I hate 40k vehicle design because they are fundamentally stupid. In like 90% of cases. They just don't make any sense. And it annoys me. One of the most sensible ones. Yeah, again, I seem to recall it being very M113. But then there's versions with like a turret and some versions with sponsons and shit. Sponsons being immediately stupid the moment you put them on something nowadays. Hurry, this way, get in the truck! Standing in the rain and dressed for combat, Kalina helps a patient climb into an armored transport. Just 100 meters from a position, the non-military forces demonstration armed units and ODO7's security forces are in fierce combat with illegal automatons. Kalina wipes the rain from her face and gazes into the northeast with a frown. Just moments ago, a nearby district 2 blocks away was bombed. Seeding rounds with rivets. That was a temporary command post for the refugee escort forces. Since that bombardment, she has lost all contact with Lieutenant Colonel Groff, the commander of the evacuation operations. Suddenly, Kalina's signal beeps. She immediately opens a channel. This is Kalina, Senior Counselor of the Non-Military Force Administration. Go ahead. This is Major Vasily, Frontline Commander of ODO7. Counselor Kalina, we just received word. Lieutenant Colonel Groff, Commander of the Evacuation Forces, went missing 10 minutes ago during the latest bombardment. Even though she expected it, Kalina clenches her fists. We urgently need a new commander for the refugee escort unit, but the situation is pure chaos. The fighting's intense, reinforcements haven't arrived, and we are severely short on officers. Everyone's tied up at the front lines. Counselor, if you could, please temporarily take command of all re-evacuation operations. Coordinate resources, direct personnel, and lead civilians and patients safely into shelters. Understood. I'll do everything I can to protect the evacuees. Thank you for your cooperation. The city immediately transmits the authorization to all escort forces. All field reports begin streaming to Kalina, who swiftly assumes control of the evacuation logistics. Comes shell crackers with the constant roar of gunfire. Calling Escort Team 5. Calling Escort Team 5. This is Kalina. Report your status. Ma'am, we're about 800 meters from the designated shelter. We've lost around 30% of personnel and automatons, but we can still move. Good. Keep those transports rolling. Shelter Unit 7, move to coordinate now and assist Team 5 with escort mission. The sharp blast draws Kalina's attention. Through the rain, 2 tall buildings have collapsed. Counselor, our route's been blocked by the debris. We have to detour. ETA? Insufficient data for the new route. We can't give an accurate estimate. Preliminary calculation, over 40 minutes. Got it. Lead your team around and pick up the pace. Yes, ma'am. Kalina looks anxiously towards the embattled front line not far away. Troops crouch behind makeshift barricades and riot shields as bullets from the illegal automatons kick up dust and sparks. Down drones and T-dolls lie scattered, oil mixed with rainwater streaming down the streets, dark liquid that, in Kalina's eyes, look almost blood red. Where are those reinforcements? She knows there's nothing she can do. All combat teams are scattered across ODO7, stretched too thin to redeploy. A harsh beam cuts through the rain. Another transport returns after dropping off the last batch of wounded. Kalin straightens up. Next group, move! Kalina helps the patient to the rear of the vehicle, but instead of an empty compartment, 2 strong arms reach out and haul the weak patient inside. Sit further in. Mr. Pavel. Pavel finishes helping the patient, then jumps down from the truck, followed by more than a dozen PMC operatives and railway corps soldiers. You lot, help load the wounded first, then form up here. Chop chop. Hey, the railway corps are here, and you're still barking orders. Have the chat and get to work. Alright, alright. Come on, all evacuees this way. They're seriously injured first. If you can still walk, lend a hand. Don't just stand there like statues. The BMC and Railway Corps move efficiently, speeding up the entire evacuation process. Pavel weaves through the crowd, wiping water from his face as he reaches Kalina. Miss Kalina, we talked it over on the way back and decided to come help. We might not be trained soldiers, but we can at least support you. He pats the rifle slung on his shoulder with pride. You're all still recovering. You shouldn't be on the battlefield. Yeah, but war doesn't care if you've got a fever or toothache. If you can move, you can fight. I'm grateful for your courage. She hesitates. The existence of the collapsed particle containment tanks is classified. Knowing the real danger that ODS-7 poses, Kalina doesn't want to drag civilians into this. But you all have families. Please, go to the shelters first. I just spoke with Alina. They're safe and being protected. Since I can't leave ODS-7 anyway, and someone's looking after them, then I'll protect the others instead. It's the same thing. He really is a hero. Oh, this is burning all over. I finally get it after seeing this mess. Running doesn't bring peace. Someone once put down the bastards for me. Now it's my turn to repay the debt. The news about ODS-7 has spread. Even a tight-fisted boss hiding out in another satellite city said to use all the weapons we brought, no charge. Don't hold back, Counselor. Just give the order. Understood. Mr. Pavel, all PMC and Railway Corps units, please assist us in protecting the transport and ensure the wounded are safely evacuated. At the Kalina's command, the PMC operatives and Railway Corps soldiers charge into the battlefield. On the public comms channel, more and more people volunteer to join the fight and help residents and the wounded each to the shelters. Another truckload of patients is filled. Kalina walks up to the driver's side. These evacuees are bound for shelter number 8. Please make sure they arrive safely. After confirming the destination with the driver, Kalina switches to the comms channel. Shelter number 8, shelter number 8. This is Kalina, commander of the evacuation forces. A new group of evacuees will arrive in about 30 minutes. Prepare to receive them immediately. Please wait, Counselor Kalina. Is there a problem? Shelter number 8 is full. What? There was just an air raid nearby, so many wounded were brought in. The medical staff are still giving emergency treatments. We really can't take any more people. Understood. Shelter 6, shelter 7. Can either you still receive evacuees? We're full as well. Same here. All shelter, evacuation point, and transport supervisors. Send me the current headcount of your assigned areas immediately. In less than 30 seconds, messages come flooding in. All the shelters are full. This is something that Kalina has expected. ODS-7, with its small population, has fewer and smaller shelters than most satellite cities. But after the recent Elite outbreak, a huge number of wounded have been sent here for treatments. The island's population has long exceeded its capacity. It's just that everyone, consciously or not, has been avoiding this truth, and no one has had the time to think about who truly deserves to hide inside those places that might not even offer any real protection. On the comms, Orlean keep urging Kalina to make a decision and give the order. And with the noise, Kalina tears off her headset. In that case, the only choice is to... She looks at Odessa Bay Bridge on the map. It should have been the route to survival for everyone. Now a line of isolation barriers stand across it, blocking all passage. Forcing a way through will take considerable effort. Their bullets could hit us. If we stay here exposed in the streets, people will die anyway. If it were you, you'd make the same call, wouldn't you? Commander. Kalina steels herself and puts her headset back on. All units proceed. A deafening rush of air drowns out her words. A large military helicopter descends, its mounted guns roaring to life, tearing down several little automatons circling nearby. The helicopter hovers lower, its downwash scattering the rain. Through the cleared curtain, Kalina finally sees the emblem painted on the fuselage. Special Security Administration. Ropes drop down. Major Fedya and several SSA officers rapidly slide rapidly to the ground. Upon landing, Fedya scans the area, quickly spotting a small, rain-soaked figure. Strides over to Kalina and salutes sharply. Major Fedya of the Odessa Special Security Administration, leading a unit to provide support. I'm here to assume command of ODS-7's frontline. But before that, Legislator Zimmerman specifically instructed me to confirm your safety first. Ms. Kalina, we thank you, and the Non-Military Forces Administration for your service to Odessa Oblast. The situation is urgent, and to prevent comms interception, we didn't send advance notice of the reinforcements' arrival. My apologies. We can leave the pleasantries for later, Major Fedya. ODS-7's underground shelters are completely full, while these remaining civilians are wounded, urgently need safe evacuation. I believe we have no other choice but to cross the Odessa Bay Bridge to evacuate. As Senior Counselor of the Non-Military Forces Administration, I'm formally requesting the Odessa Oblast government to open the bridge immediately. Kalina's tone is firm. Raindrops cling stubbornly to her lashes. Understood. That's exactly the message Legislator Zimmerman asked me to deliver. Councillor Kalina, the Odessa Oblast government requests the continued assistance of the Non-Military Forces Administration to help all non-combatants in ODS-7 safely cross the Odessa Bay Bridge and evacuate to other regions. The wide zone of city of Odessa is ready to receive them. Wonderful. You've numbed full cooperation. Good. The SSA command units will arrive in waves to ensure all evacuees leave ODS-7 safely. Until the situation stabilizes, command of the evacuation forces remain in your hands. Continue directing the operation as you see fit. Also, Fedya lowers his voice. The technical team dispatched by Oblast government has safely reached the Selene power plants. Some commander Tauntauns have already arrived, with follow-up reinforcements en route. It's great news. Kalina smiles faintly. She immediately grabs her terminal and transmits the good news that the bridge to the mainland is open. Moments later, her voice spreads across the sky through helicopters and a few surviving broadcast towers in the city. Attention all ODE-07 residents. The route to the mainland is now open. Follow the instructions and evacuate in an orderly manner. Within 5 hours, everyone will be able to cross the Odessa Bay Bridge. Odessa and other satellite cities will provide you with shelter. I repeat. Meanwhile, in the rear command zone, Fedya studies the synchronized enemy map and outlines his initial battle plan. Pavel, who's been ordered off the front line to evacuate, runs up beside him, craning his neck to peek at the map. SSA Squad 3, take the shortest route from the west. Major, wait a second. What is it? Don't send everyone west. Dispatch a few agile small droids through the narrow street southwest right here. Fedya eyes Pavel skeptically, but gestures for him to continue. I spotted it when I was driving the transport earlier. The illegal automatons in this area are big and slow to turn. They don't watch their backs. That squad can circle around from the rear flank and blow off the treads. You fought large automatons before? Not large ones, but I've taken out a few armored vehicles. But you know, the quickest way to stop a heavy vehicle is to wreck its wheels. Same logic. It's not a standard tactic you'll find in the textbooks, sure. But you'll only lose a few small units if you fail. The battle will end faster if you succeed. Let's see. Get back to your transport. You have 3 hours to evacuate. Right. I'm going. Pavel jogs 5 or 6 meters away, then stops again. He scratches his head with a sooty hand and calls out to Fedya's back. Major, I was wrong about you. You may not have fought on the front lines, but you've been leading the SSA and protecting my family all this time. Thank you. Please come back safe. I'll buy you dinner after this. Fedya doesn't turn around, and Pavel doesn't dwell on it. He breaks into a run towards the retreating convoy. SSA Squad 3, dispatch 5 light high firepower droids to the southwest flank. Target the joints of the large illegal automatons. All other combat units hold position on the western streets. Fedya lifts his gaze towards the faint orange glow flickering across the bay through the rain, the light of the battle. But he knows that beyond the smoke, countless household lights are waiting for those still fighting to come home. Then over the comms he adds, "We will complete this mission and return safely." 2 hours later, Kalina, now stationed at the Odessa Bay Bridge, watches transport after transport come across to safety, but he still can't fully relax. The isolation barriers on the bridge have been lowered. To protect evacuees, the turrets on Odessa's fixed quarantine wall have limited their firing arcs, but that also leaves the Odessa Bay Bridge and its approaches from ODS-7 exposed as an entry point for illegal automatons. From this position in the town, Fedya sent extra troops to hold the ramp and repel the oncoming mechanical forces. But across Odessa, including ODS-7, battles rage everywhere. Manpower is scarce, and the situation remains dire. Escort Team 2. Send 3 personnel and 5 small droids to escort those 2 transports across the bridge. Everyone else, hold position and wait for the next convoy. Intercept any illegal automatons breaching the front lines. Do not let them reach the on-ramp leading to the bridge. Kalina checks the communicator. 1 hour remains until the scheduled completion of the evacuation. I wonder how they're doing, the power plants. Let me quickly drink something. Yeah. God, it's cold. Ugh. Current seal progress at 28%. Cooling system control has been regained, running at maximum output. We can hold a bit longer. To fully regain control, seed process must exceed 85%, and current progress is slow. Once the status on the isolation gate, security decryption in the collapsed particle storage area is underway. 2 authorization locks remaining. Overall progress at 57%. All electronic warfare units, the remaining critical nodes are being computed. Syncing updates soon. Prioritize the current node. The technician's voice echoed across level 2. Looks like reinforcements really did help speed up the cracking process. Rebella, clear the run data. Rebella? Rebella, who was supposed to be waiting nearby for instructions, is nowhere to be seen. At the same time, the sound of combat erupts ahead. I know you're in a hurry, but this is when you need to stay calm. Leave sighs helplessly, but then also rushes into the fray. Current security node is decrypted. Have you located the next one? The commuting process is acting up. Another squad has already gone to handle it. We'll sync up progress with you soon. Just a moment longer. Please make it quick. Lever, all personnel for the current security system decryption teams in position. Let me check. As of now, about 65% of the reinforcements originally assigned to the power plant have arrived. But some of them had to divert to block the back doors Gerard left behind to regain system control. We'll need a little over and out before the pipeline reaches full capacity. It's too slow. Didn't the SSA say the reinforcements are already departed? To keep environment stable, level 2 had switched to local network access. The electronic warfare units need to get within a specific range to participate in operations. The fighting outside is intense, and the traffic so heavily restricted, so naturally they're delayed. Odessa has been turning a blind eye to their problems for years. That kind of lax management let Gerard find far too many private troops. But Kalin's under enormous pressure too. Rebella taps into the frontline comms for the cross-sea bridge through level 2. Through the crackling interference, Kalina's voice comes through, but faint but resolute. Closer to the mic are deafening bursts of gunfire. Bearing south 35 degrees west. Distance 189 meters. Block those 3 illegal droids. Cancel, look out! An explosion drowns out the rest of the transmission. I'm fine. Destroy those droids quickly. The next transport is almost here. Lever cuts the channel and silence returns to level 2. What are you doing? Worrying won't help her. The technicians have already sent over the next node. Let's pick up the pace. Right. Got it. Rebella takes to the final system defense unit with a clean shot. As the defense unit disintegrates, the decryption on the current node is completed. Nice work. Where's the next node, Lever? Waiting for the technicians to confirm. Reinforcements are arriving, speeding up the process, and since you have increased computational output, our decryption rate is up by 20%. Wait, Rebella, where are you going? Can't wait any longer. Rebella swiftly scans the map, locks onto an uncracked node, and leaps to it. Lever follows, the two engaging a new set of defense units. All system defense units neutralized. Current node decrypted, authorization log released. Requesting reinforcements to proceed with follow-up procedures. Requesting next node coordinates. Right, 1 second. Let me see where the next one is. Hey, you come help me out. With the original sequence of operation thrown into disarray, the technician's voices grow frantic. Rebella becomes even more agitated. We have to move faster. We have 5 nodes left. Once we decrypt them, the final lock will open. The isolation gate will disengage and then... Rebella starts forward, but is yanked back by Lever. Where do you think you're going? The next node hasn't even been confirmed yet. We don't have time to wait around. There's only 5 left. The sequence barely matters anymore. The gate opens once we're done. Rebella tries to pull free, but Lever tightens her grip. Wait for the technicians. Running off now will just ruin the plan. Don't bungle it up with your impatience. How can I not be impatient? You know how bad things are on Carlin's end. We can't delay any longer. We have to help her. Lever, I just ran the calculation. The cooling system is running at maximum output, and the overload window for the engines have been extended. If we can finish decrypting in the last lock and even 30 minutes early, we can hand the rest to the reinforcements. Then we can make our way to the Odessa Bay Bridge. Calm down. You don't fully understand the security system. Even the smallest interference could trigger catastrophic results. My neurocloud was damaged back in Gerard's server room. I've mostly recovered, but it still isn't perfectly stable. And besides, all of us working on the locks are at computational limits. If anything goes wrong, we won't be able to fix it in time. We've already cracked 4 locks. That's 20 nodes total. We have a pretty good grasp of the structure now. The 5th won't be a problem. And I wasn't wrong before, was I? We succeeded in the last node and lifted the 4th lock. It worked out well once, but that doesn't mean every attempt will succeed. You can't hedge everything on the one lucky guess. Rebella, you're a doll. Do I need to spell this out for you? But we can't just stand here and wait for the bridge to fall, for Carlin and the civilians to be... Next node sinking in 8 minutes 20 seconds. The nation's report cuts into their arguments. Rebella keeps staring at Lever, her eyes burning with defiance. You heard that, Lever. 8 whole minutes. There's only 1 lock left. Once it's gone, we can go help Carlin. No, this delay is far longer than the previous ones, so something's off. If the decryption fails, the collapsed particles will spread unchecked, and Carlin, the soldiers, the refugees, and all the innocent people of Odessa will die. Carlin would never want you to acting so recklessly. Protecting Odessa, protecting the world that's finally crawled out of war. That's what she's fighting for. But she also hopes that someday she won't have to give us orders anymore. She hopes that we can just chat and go shopping together. I don't want that day to come only for her to be gone. Lever, the time we're spending on decrypting the system is fraught with people's lives. I don't know how to say this. Maybe to dolls, peace is just a definition, some statistics. But to those living through war, peace is their hope to survive. They wish that their families and friends stay safe. It's because of those so-called selfish wishes that humans can respond to one another, gather together, form armies and fight. That's what war really means for them. The way those lives rationally, coldly, I can't do that. If the containment tanks explode and the collapsed particle spreads, everything's lost. But right now, they are everything. You're wavering too, aren't you, Lever? Otherwise, why can't you even listen to the frontline channel? If true peace ever comes, but the commander, Carlin, and 4-4 are already gone, would it still mean anything to you? Lever falters. The missing data in her neurocloud feels like a void, heavy and suffocating. The shouts she's been trying to block out in the comms channel, and Carlin's voice among them, are clashing with her sense of logic, and which she is so proud of. Lever! The cold logic embedded deep within Lever's neurocloud compels her to refuse, but her vocal unit fails her. She can't bring herself to speak. Just then a bright, cheerful voice cuts through the tension. Sopo! Rebella, Lever, I'm finally here. I couldn't reach you for ages. I patched in as soon as I got into local range. Sopo, you already noticed that? Yeah, the UAV was super fast. They even shot down a few flyers on the way. I'm no good at electronic warfare, though. Carlin told me to help the security forces with Lena at the front. Give me 10 minutes or so and I'll be at the power plant. Wait, Sopo. What's wrong? Contact Carlin directly. Join the battle at the bridge on-ramp. If she tells you to come here instead, tell her Lever, Lena, Rebella, and the reinforcements sent by the Oblast government can handle it. Your excess combat strength here. Oh, got it. The ramp's close anyway. Sopo, before we get there, please keep Carlin and the evacuees safe. That goes without saying. I'll be waiting for you at the bridge. Sopo cuts the link to level 2. Lever turns to Rebella. Sopo's voice has helped her regain her usual composure. You're right, Rebella. I'm worried about Carlin too, and it's shaken me. But I still can't... I still believe that dolls exist, in part, to make up for human flaws. I can't let my fear for Carlin put the power plant at even greater risk. You were modified by Persica. You're a third-gen doll prototype. Maybe you are different from us. We might never reach the same conclusions through different logic circuits. But I know this. None of us wants to see more death. The war that has devoured so many lives, but it still burns clearly in our memories. Now, Carlin, the evacuees have Suppo protecting them. She's better suited to handle that front than we are. So I'm asking you to adjust your logic circuit for now. Work with me. Follow orders. Keep helping the technicians unlock the final seal. Once the gate is open, or once we've fully regained control of the power plant, we'll go together to help Carlin. Alright? The technicians relay the data for the next node to be breached. Leave enlarges the protection before them. According to the coordinates, the node lies just a short distance ahead. Data continues to flow steadily within level 2. But slowly nods. Alright. No dialogue? No dialogue. Okay. Alright. Sure. In theory, it should kill everyone except that one. I see, that's gotta be a turn 2. And the turn. And blow them all up. Ta-da! Okay. That's not enough distance. That's not enough distance either. Yeah, this should kill a lot of them. Another two-turner. Or three-turner, technically. Well, guess we'll be able to finish this event today, so that's good. The battle rages on. With Supper support, the threat posed by the mechanical units that have broken through the defenses near the on-ramp is now significantly reduced. Operation Vista is a campaign instigated to suppress an insurgency caused by the Gerard group finally approaches its end. At this moment, several troop carriers, escorted by a military jeep, reach the sea bridge. A member of the refugee escort unit rushes to Kalina at the missed bridge supply point. Chancellor, aside from the missing personnel, the final group of evacuees have safely arrived at the on-ramp. Good work. Quickly count heads and assign escorts. Provide supplies for the critically wounded and make sure this group of refugees crosses to Odessa Bay Bridge safely. Yes, ma'am. Kalina exhales slightly in relief and looks up towards Sop, standing not far away. Sop is planted herself in the middle of the road, constantly on guard against any mechanical unit that might break through the blockades. Honestly, I do not wish to know what kind of con she has caused on that bridge. Because anyone that knows how Sopper fights knows that you probably don't want to observe it. Around 50 meters ahead of her lie the wreckages of over a dozen destroyed illegal automatons. They seem to have slammed into an invisible wall and can no longer advance a single inch toward the Odessa Bay Bridge. Soppo, watch for aerial units. Hang in there just a little longer. No probs. These joints were barely enough for warming up, so don't worry. The troop carriers roll past Soppo and halt at the temporary supply point for a quick resupply. The accompanying military jeep stops beside Kalina. Major Fedya steps out, his usually steady gait replaced with a bit of a limp. His left arm and leg are clearly injured. The bandages wrapped around them are soaked with blood and dirt. Similar traces of battle also mark his once fair face. Refusing to help the help of his subordinates, he walks up to Kalina and salutes solemnly. Chancellor Kalina. Major Fedya, I'm relieved to see you return safely. Thank you, ma'am. I just received word that the electronic warfare units have successfully entered the area containing the new energy generators. The generators have been shut down. Soon the technicians will gain full system control of the power plants. The crisis at the Selene power plant is effectively contained. That's wonderful news. Thank you and your subordinates for your support of the Odessa Blast during this operation. You're too kind. A large particle leak is something none of us wishes to see. Chancellor Kalina, you probably heard of the comms earlier. Though the Battle of Odio 7 isn't over yet, the situation is finally stabilizing. Reinforcements from Odessa have arrived and joined several urban combat zones. The original forces are being rotated to the rear for rest. Please come with us back to Odessa. A new combat command will take over the sector. My duty is to ensure every evacuee reaches safety. Odio 7 still has missing personnel, and until their whereabouts are confirmed, my unit's mission is not complete. Besides, the handover will take time, and I know the situation in this area better. Until the handover is complete, I'll remain here with part of the forces to continue searching for the missing and intercept any illegal automatons that slip through the front. But, seeing that Fedya's about to argue, Kalina smiles faintly. Don't worry, Major. My subordinates can protect me. Besides, Levi and the others must already be on the way. I want to wait for them. Kalina's communicator rings. I just picked up the signal. Based on the transmitted coordinates, they'll be here very soon. It looks like the last transport convoy's resupply is almost complete. Major, you better leave with them. He won't seem to be should be seen too soon. Kalina glances at the blood seeping slowly through the bandages. I understand. Chancellor Kalina, allow me to thank you again for Numfas and your support during this period. I'm sorry for before. Kalina shakes her head kindly, cutting him off. Everything we've done is for Odessa's peace. You, Major, and us alike. Understood. Please take care. The last convoy of evacuees begin to move again. 10 minutes later, Kalina watches the convoy's position on the map and gradually relaxes. The vehicles are nearing the middle of the bridge. Reports from the frontline communication channels also bring good news. The missing personnel are being located one by one. That's wonderful. Alarm! Suddenly a sharp burst of static erupt from the comms, followed by multiple deafening explosions across several channels. For Kalina's eyes, a military helicopter hovering about a kilometer from the on-ramp bursts into flames. What's happening? The fire devours the aircraft in seconds. The bright fireball, trailed by a black smoke, crashes to the ground like a low-falling meteor of destruction. At the same time, thick black smoke rises from multiple explosions across Odio 7. The frontline comms channels descend instantly into chaos. Let's combat Team 3. We're on attack. Illegal automatons are grouping up. Same here. And there's something else. Some kind of special unit. With a screech of static and screams, multiple explosions rock Odio 7 again. The newly arrived forces are caught completely off guard. Gunfire, once sporadic, now reignites from all directions. The battle that had seemed to calm suddenly flares up with renewed fury. Ahead of Kalina, not far from the on-ramp, pillars of fire reveal the silhouettes of more illegal automatons. Kalina, things are going south. Fall back. Reacting instantly, Supple fires rapidly, taking down 2 illegal automatons that have slipped through the line. All evacuation units, prepare for combat. Communications officer, tell the bridge convoy to accelerate. Supple, check on the on-ramp and find out what's going on. Got it. Kalina, stay safe. Find cover and don't come out, no matter what. Without looking back, Supple dashes towards the on-ramp. The previously relaxed evacuation forces regroup quickly under Kalina's orders and fortify their positions. What are you trying to do? Supple, sit rep. There's a ton of illegal droids pouring out of nowhere, all heading for the bridge. I don't even know where they're coming from. And there's a super strong one mixed in. Way tougher than anything we fought before. Hang on, this one. The transmission cuts off. Supple's voice vanishes. The channel falls silent. Councilor Kalina, please board the vehicle and head for Odessa immediately. We'll handle it from here. Kalina doesn't answer. Her gaze locks onto the gunfire flashing in the distant darkness. Councilor, there is no time. You're not a combat specialist. Staying here is far too dangerous. Kalina! The comms reconnect. Supple's voice returns. Kalina, sorry, the signal cut out. Oh, that's not the point. I think the super strong unit is commanding the illegal automatons. Their coordination is way sharper on the elite. The relief forces haven't arrived and we're barely holding out. And this stall looks like Groza. What do you say? Groza? But Groza's aboard the Elmo. I don't get it either. I'm still a few hundred meters from the fire, but by the firelight, I swear, she looks identical to Groza. Well, not completely identical, but definitely stronger. I don't know what she's loaded with, but she just tore through one of the SSA's heavy mechs like it's nothing. What? Did you say a heavy mech? Supple's words leave Kalina stunned. About a year ago, on a visit to Odessa Oblast for another assignment, she first made contact with the former chief. During that time, under the escort of a Oblast government official, she taught the soon-to-be deployed automatons of Odessa, including the heavy combat mechs now assigned to the Special Security Administration. Even after years spent working alongside intricately built T-dolls, she deeply admired Odessa's engineering standards. Kalina cannot imagine what kind of combat unit could destroy with those formidable mechs so effortlessly. But the inferno's ahead, and the voices crackling through the comms tells that Supple isn't exaggerating. Panic, despair, and a primal fear washes over her. She takes 2 deep breaths. The salty tang of sea air and acrid scent of smoke mingle, grounding her once more in cold clarity. Then she makes a decision. Supple, stay where you are and assist on the front line. Buy as much time as you can. Leave that to me. I'll do that even if you didn't ask. I don't care if she scrolls or whatever. It's a new toy I haven't taken apart yet. It's perfect! Yeah, that's Supple, right? Kalina checks the position of the evacuation convoy on the map once more. She picks up a communicator. Major Fedya, this is Kalina. ODO7. The situation has changed. I'm aware. I'm already driving back. Please head across the Odessa Bay Bridge immediately and leave ODO7. I'll take over command of the evacuation escort. We'll buy you time and the convoy time. We'll buy you and the convoy the time you need. No, Major. Please turn around at once and head for Odessa. That's out of the question. Protecting the people of Odessa and Odessa Oblast is the work of the Special Security Administration. My subordinates and I won't desert our posts. No, I'm not asking you to flee. A highly lethal tactical dart has appeared among the enemy. The battle is deadlocked. Our current defensive line will not be able to intercept every hostile unit. The fact that this unit appears at the exact moment makes the goal quite obvious. The battle is tilting in our favor, so they want to unleash one last wave of chaos. They target is the evacuation convoy. You and your subordinates must stay with the transports and protect the evacuees on board. In addition to that, there's one more matter. Please contact Mr. Zimmerman immediately. I need you, an SSA Major, and an Oblast Parliament member to report something directly to the Odessa Oblast government. Given the consequences this may trigger, I cannot handle it with my authority alone. But as a senior counselor of the Non-Military Forces Administration, I must remain here. I don't quite understand what you mean. Kalina moves behind cover, looks toward the far end of the Odessa Bay Bridge, and speaks softly. This is too risky. One misstep and you... I know, Major. But surely you understand that this method is most likely to ensure the success of our mission. Please convey my intent to Mr. Zimmerman, and tell him to fulfill my request by any means available. Everything is for the peace of the Odessa Oblast, and for everyone's safety. A moment later, Fedya's voice returns. Miss Kalina, once again, thank you. And thank the non-military force demonstration for everything you've done for the Death Oblast. I will do everything I can. Thank you. Please stay safe on the way. The transmission ends. Kalina checks out the coordinates previously sent by Leva and the others. Then she steps out of cover and picks up a nearby loudspeaker. All evacuation escort units, hold the bridge entrance. No one retreats without orders. Yes, ma'am. The rain continues to pour. Explosions thunder along the front line. Yet the soldiers' replies ring clearer than ever. Turned to the eyes of 12 and Dawn's earlier. Got to tell them it's... The damn thing's really fun to use. However, I first need to get a shitload of explosive skills. In just 3 minutes, the illegal forces led by Groza compressed the distance between the front line and the rear dramatically. Rear line, fall back 100 meters, build cover faster. Support the front line, fortify the line. Kalina issues commands methodically, checking the convoy's location on a terminal from time to time. On the map interface are 2 markers, one showing the firefight near the on-ramp, one showing the convoy. Considering RBS bosses are sometimes, no. I wouldn't say overkill. I'd say situational. There's very specific places where you can use it. The distance between the 2 points continues to widen. Hurry, just a little faster. Suddenly an alarm sounds on the frontline channel. Damn, she broke through. Rear line heads up. High lethality doors leading the 3 automatons towards you at high speeds. Copy. Stop or pull back and mount the defense immediately. Rear line, prepare for combat. On my way. A few short minutes later, Kalina spots a fast-moving black silhouette. The accompanying aerial automatons fire non-stop towards the rear line. Sabotagers wildly while returning fire. Fucking Sapo. We love her. She's so good. She's a maniacal dog just ripping apart enemies that are in front of her. It's great. Breaking through a Desert Baybird's final defense in approximately 10 minutes. I'm catching up to you. Once I get my hands on you, I'm going to take those legs apart piece by piece, leaving not a single screw. Sopa's exhilarating voice comes through. Kalina and the rear defenders brace themselves. All evacuation units, intercept the high lethality door at all costs. She is a great VA for her. I still kind of wish that there was more character songs, because there's a very small set of them, and most of them are really good. There's some quality in the samples that could be better, but Sopa's song is great. And with that, the doll enters the firing range. The defenders engage in combat. Under the Chandoui's doll's overwhelming pressure, the rear line is forced back again and again. More legal automatons break through the frontline barriers. Although they are intercepted eventually, the defenders pay dearly for it. Kalina drags a wounded fading soldier back behind cover. Counselor Kalina. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. But as soon as she gets him behind cover, she realizes he's already gone. Nefarious clandestine memory, 40 and 45. God, clandestine memory appearing out of fucking nowhere was so mean. Because clandestine memory is fairly new still. Like, I think it was released sometime last year. It was genuinely just thrown out. Yeah, it was last year. Another Master PV. Yeah. It is a character song. You are correct, but... Wait, no. Is there an old one? Is there one that I didn't know? Because YouTube says that there's one from 2020. Huh. Interesting. That's one for GeForce 2. Yeah. Very interesting. I think they might have remastered it to have 45's new voice in it. I'm not sure though. Because for the people that don't know, the voice actress that spoke UP45 in GFL1 retired and does not do voice acting anymore. And I too really like Watch You Click. But the problem about that song is the fact that the guitar sample is notably low quality. Like, noticeably. It's... If you listen to it a little bit, you can hear that it's a synthesizer, or, well, a sample, rather, instead of a real guitar. It's a shame, because the song itself is great. Summer crashes hard against the cover in front of Kalina. She has suffered multiple gunshots and a massive frame damage, with mechanical fluids pouring out of her wounds. Not bad, keep coming. Summer glances at the approaching dawn. She uses the cover's leverage and forces herself upright. With a flash of sparks, Summer's leg joint collapses. She slams to the ground again. The last defender on the rear line falls. However, the frontline battle hasn't ceased. Illegal armed units are still pressing to break through. Damn it. Keep coming. Summer keeps firing, but arm is hit and her weapon falls away. The shadowy doll steps out of the darkness. Stop struggling. I'm perfectly fine, don't you worry. As Summer continues to goad the enemy, she taps rhythmically on the cover with her finger to send Kalina a code message. Let's stall her. Run. Kalina understands her attempt, but shakes her head. I won't abandon you. Kalina picks up a rifle, steps out from behind cover, and stands firmly before Supple. Groza. The doll before her has Groza's face, but eyes are utterly empty. The black-clad doll does not answer. She raises her weapon. The bullet grazes the bun tied behind Kalina's head. Son of Death does not make her flinch. Her hair spills loose, whipping in the wind and rain, just like back in Griffin. You are not Groza. This time the bullet grazes Kalina's arm. Blood spills down, soaking old wounds. Move. Who are you? You like the soundtrack that plays here and still a sense of dread? It's not bad. But it doesn't have any build-up. There's no payoff that is this. I don't know how to explain, but whenever you have a moment like this in GFL1, the theme that is used in the most intense moments is another variation of an already existing theme that played beforehand in like calmer moments, and you have a lot of build up to this moment of the fuck are we gonna do here? And I feel like there's a lot more one-offs in this game than there were in GFL 1. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the way that the music is used is also just I don't know. At least this one is not as generic as most of the GFL2 music. I will say that. It's not as pronounced or as thematic as with other music from the GFL franchise, but again, I haven't been working too much with VGS recently. It's a shame, because GFL 1 always had really fucking good music for the events, and now, I don't know, most of the time you just kind of have the super generic sounds. I miss the dramatic music. The voiced, specifically voiced, lyricized ending songs for the events. It's all not here, still. It's sad. The black-clad doll gives no reply. Seeing Kalina's face seemed to make her hesitate slightly. Her pace slows, but she still advances with cold, oppressive intent. The doll darts aside lightly. Bullets tear into the ground she just stepped over. My shooting has improved a lot over these last few years. I could even give the commander a run for his money. Kalina fires continuously, blocking the doll's advance. As the magazine empties, she tries to reload while the doll ducks behind cover, but the doll suddenly accelerates, closing the distance in a blink of kicking her rifle away. Kalina falls to the ground. Even if it was just results from target practice. The black-clad doll pays no more attention and moves past the cover. Kalina crawls toward the fallen rifle. I won't let you catch up to the convoy unless... That doesn't make any sense. Unless you become one of us. Landed up from above, the black-clad doll attacks blocks the attack instinctively. Lenda's boot slams heavily against the arm. Having failed to take out the enemy in one strike, Lenda flips back, landing steadily a few meters away. Lev and Rebella jump down from a UAV at the same time. Sorry we're late, Colin. You're not late, you're right on time. The black-clad doll rushes Lenda immediately, and Lenda meets her head-on. Kicking on Colleen and Soppo. Don't care if you're an old friend. That's a no-no. Lever, get Colleen to safely first. This one's mine. Okay, give me 5 minutes. Lever picks up Kalina and sprints away. We'll handle it from here, Colleen. Put me behind a nearby cover. It grows it's incredibly strong. Hurry and go support Lena and Rebella. Soppo. On the other side, Rebella anxiously scans the surroundings, spots Soppo collapse beside a piece of cover, and runs over. Soppo can just about peel a limp hand off the ground and flash a V sign. I'm fine, totally okay. Teela severely damaged Soppo and badly injured Kalina. Rebella bites her lip and tightens her grip on a gun. Don't care whether you grows or whatever. You're not getting out of here today. Meanwhile, following Kalina's orders, Lever hides her behind a piece of nearby cover. You're hurt. Stay in here. Don't run around anymore. Fine. Now listen. Leave the illegal automatons on the other side to the other combat personnel. You prioritize that doll. Okay. Be careful yourself. Lever returns to the battlefield. Kalina turns on the terminal. On the screen is a structural diagram of the Odessa Bay Bridge that Major Fedya sent her. Kalina performs a quick set of operations, placing the bridge diagram beside the map interface, then synchronizing the real-time combat positions of the dolls onto the structure diagram. The same positions are synced to Fedya's terminal. The message, not yet safe at safe distance, blinks in red at the top of the screen. Did they want to blow the bridge to block off the machines? Do we actually have a unique map for once? Playing on the bridge. God damn, they actually put in some effort. I see the statue that gives me an extra pull. That one was very obvious just now. Right there. I actually have to make sure to not kill everyone. Until I get there. Aha. There you go. That's what I wanted. The gunfight continues. Let ducks behind cover to reload. Leave a Rebella laid on suppressive fire. Eva, why is this thing so strong? Who knows? But at least we can be certain that it's not the kind of combat power that the real Groza could have. Topos assault plus the three of us attacking together, and all we've done is disable one of the long-range modules. At least it keeps Colleen safer. Ever since they first engaged Groza, Kalina has been methodically directing the dolls, constantly adjusting their positions, all while relocating herself to the immobilized Topos side. Under her orders, the three dolls gradually form an encirclement around Groza. After that, Kalina gives no further tactical commands, only ordering to hold the line and pin Groza down. Lever roughly estimates the size of the combat area and is starting to have an inkling about what Kalina is planning. She glances toward Kalina, who is hiding behind a piece of cover further back. Is Kalina okay? Did she pass out? If you don't hurry up and finish reloading the magazine, that Miss Groza in black is going to blow me to pieces, you know? Sorry, my bad. Nana pops out from behind cover, and resumes suppressive fire on the black-clad doll. Lever uses the chance to shift positions. Ooh. Thank you very much for the resub, Ritsu. Also, hi. Haven't seen you in a bit, I guess. Nerd. Lever uses the chance to shift positions with Lana, taking a spot closer to Kalina. The doll's attack is fierce, but the enemy does not falter, exploiting every chance to break the formation. To dodge the black-clad doll's fire, Rebella rolls behind cover. Just as she's about to retaliate, she sees a small grenade tossed straight towards her. Crap. Jump back down. Everyone pulls out of the blast radius just in time. Rebella, you okay? I'm fine. Attention all units. At last, Kalina's voice returns to the comms channel. In 1 minute, reach the edge of the bridge closest to you. Huh? The edge? Looks like we can finally settle this. Settle. Yep, Carlin, Sopo, I'll come get you in a moment, so hold tight, okay? Huh? There's no keeping anything from you, is there? Yeah, they're gonna use the wall's guns to bombard the bridge and maybe tear the entire bridge down. Lever, locked on the enemy unit. Don't let them escape the encirclement. We only get one chance. We must not fail. What? Nena doesn't even get to finish her question before a massive noise erupts in the sky behind them. You... Lena, Rebella, cover me. Don't let her get away. The dolls spring instantly into action. Lever rushes to Kalina and Sopo's position and lifts both of them in her arms. Realizing something is wrong, the black-clad doll immediately turns and spreads toward the gap in the encirclement. Don't even think about it. Bullets strike her before she can defend. Her lower leg is damaged and she falls. Everyone jump! Lever's voice disappears beneath the roar of the falling shells. The dolls leap off the edge of the bridge. Defense mode activated. Maximum output. A few seconds later, a dense bombardment rains down on the Odessa Bay Bridge. Explosions and shockwaves swallow everything. The bridge's cables shake violently. Under the bombardment and the storm, the outer cable and one outer cable and one inner cable on this panel snap. Cross ties are damaged. The deck rocks hard. Fortunately, the bridge does not collapse. Only cracks form along the edge, scattering debris into the sea. A little over 10 minutes later, thick smoke is thinned by rain and waves. Uneven footsteps echo through the mist. The light of a force field flickers and fades. Groza's silhouette emerges from the haze. The black-clad doll staggers towards the edge of the bridge and looks down at the churning water. Comes to visor down at it crackles. She adjusts its angle, trying to hear more clearly. Automaton losses exceed 78%. Widespread structural damage has occurred across the Odessa Oblast. Combat objective completed. On the other end, some voice seems to have asked a question. No. None for common units lost. The voice asks another question. Current frame damage is approximately 40%. Long-range modules offline. Combat signal transmitters at risk of shorting. Query. Should pursuit continue? Command comes to the comms device. Cruiser complies. Storm continues. The black hot doll vanishes into an even darker night. One more story node. The Odessa Bay Bridge defense operation is a success. The unrest caused by the Droid group has been fully contained, and Operation Resistor is effectively complete. The US government will deploy rescue forces throughout the region to assist with resident evacuation and urban reconstruction. Residents in the emergency situations should immediately contact the rescue channels listed as follows. With the battle over, Rebella escorts Sopper to 16 now for emergency repair. Kalina, who fell in the water, suffers no major injuries thanks to the doll's protection. After basic check and some bandaging, Neva and Lena escort her back to the hotel. Kalina washes the blood from her hair and face, then steps out of the bathroom. Neva switches off the TV. You really didn't have to escort me back. Should have just gone with Sopper and Rebella for maintenance. Before the handover team led by the director arrives in Odessa, you still need someone by your side. Alright, come here. Neva stands in front of the dressing table and waves Kalina over. I can do this myself. Our great hero who blew up the bridge, protected the evacuation convoy, and turned the tide of ODO7, the esteemed Councillor Kalina, looks down on my services now? Faced with Neva's teasing, Kalina shakes her head with a wary smile and sits down. Neva picks up a hairbrush and glides its bristles softly along Kalina's long hair. Are you angry? How would I dare? Ask Lena if you don't believe me. Huh? The angriest one was definitely Rebella. The memory of a bow dripping wet Rebella pants at us the moment we got to shore still makes me chuckle. Are you all trying to die? Lena doesn't exaggerate the impression of Rebella's role. I'm surprised you found it funny, Neva. Rebella grabbed you by the collar and yanked you up right up. If you hadn't stopped her, she definitely would have thrown you straight back into the sea. She totally flipped out. Mistake for the silence when was rolling with it. That's fair. Lena shivers at her memory. Honestly, Rebella took the words right out of my mouth. Neva, Karina, next time you plan to do something mad drastic, at least give us a heads up. In fact, the two of you are not allowed to be part of any plans that involve gambling with your lives. Colleen, you're human, and Neva, your neurocloud is... My neuroclouds? I'm still worried about the damage I took before. I already told you I'm fine. The only one you need to worry about is Colleen. Lena stiffens again. She glances furtively at Kalina, then abruptly changes the subject. Major Fedja could have been a bit more thoughtful too. Sure, he's injured, but he slipped back to Odessa the moment he handed over command, and didn't even bother to come back and help Kalin. Also, Kalin, why did you even stay in ODO7? You could have handed that task to the local operations commander. If you told us in advance, we could have coordinated with him about positioning. If things had gone as smoothly as you imagine, it would have been easy. Huh? Remember why the Oblast government sealed off the bridge earlier? There are structural weak points on the Odessa Bay Bridge. Shelling could cause the bridge to collapse to strike rows on the bridge. We had to calculate angles and control the attack range. Even then, there's still a real chance we damage the bridge's load-bearing structure and cause a full collapse. The bridge was built during the Oblast's major development era. It cost a fortune and carries commemorative meaning. If it collapsed, reconstructing it would be hugely expensive for the Oblast government, but not rebuilding it would hinder the Oblast development. And with all the recent unrest, the government would probably be hesitant. You mean, you were worried the Oblast government would refuse to attack? But when they scared that, let's just call it Groza for now. When they scared that Groza would lead the illegal automatons straight across. More precisely, I was worried the government would refuse to set the attack point on the bridge. The artillery on the fixed quarantine wall can cover the entire route from Odessa to the on-ramp leading to the bridge. The government could simply wait until that doll and the illegal forces crossed over, then bomb them. But a defensive line could never hold until the EVA convoy cleared the bridge and reached the shelter. Even if we gave everything, all we could do was ensure the convoy had retreated to a relatively safe area to minimize the possibility of them getting caught in the blast. The fixed cannons must strike the enemy while they were on the bridge, and the firing time must be controlled by me. And so our heroic Councillor Kalina used herself as the leverage to force the Odessa government to cooperate, staking herself at the ODO7 end of the bridge. Kalina hears the barb and Leva's tone and pats her hand with a bitter smile. Wasn't me this time. I shouldn't have acted on my own. Oh, really? I think Major Freddy understood perfectly. The Odessa Oblast was on fire everywhere, and ODO7 had it even worse. Every battle zone was overwhelmed, and the two of you, one, a senior councillor from the non-military force administration, holding a defensive line amidst the chaos, the other, a major of the special security administration, fleeing in a hurry, through shellfire with his troops. If the Oblast government had refused your demands, you would have died on that bridge. Then the government would have no way to answer Nomfa, but the central government and the public would demand accountability. Actually, the culprits behind the insurgency, Rurik and the Gerard Group, are themselves a native faction not appointed by the UNC. The Gerard Group was even applying for administrative rights over Odessa fort and surrounding areas. Given that, the Odessa government would already have trouble explaining things to the central government. If Nomfa also turned against them at this moment, the situation would be disastrous. In the long term, the Oblast development would also be impacted. So you do understand the logic. Then don't stay mad! I understand, but Colin, don't forget, the only reason that the evacuees were safe, that the bridge stayed intact, that we were able to sit here and talk, is all because we were lucky enough. If the Oblast government hadn't cooperated, if we hadn't arrived in time, if our line hadn't held long enough for the convoy to escape the blast radius, if I hadn't pulled you off that bridge in time, if you drowned in the tide, and all these ifs were frighteningly likely. It was an emergency. I had to take the gamble. Besides, you know me, I never stand aside. Yes. Carlin and Rebella are the brave, good people, and the only cold-blooded villain is me, right? I abandoned my own sister to be arrested at the light rail station, refused Rebella's request to accelerate our operation at the power plant, knew you were risking your life on the bridge, yet didn't prioritize sending you somewhere safer. You don't say that! Kalin isn't blaming you, and Rebella will definitely come to understand too. Will she know? I think we two will simply never agree. Just a cold, rational doll, and she's a person who feels warmth and sorrow. No need to be stubborn at a time like this, Leva. No one is truly unaffected by the pain and suffering on the battlefield. Sometimes we just have to force ourselves to forget. Fallen deserve to be mourned, but those who knew everything and made conscious choices also carry the consequences and guilt through every day and night afterwards. Collective success doesn't mean individual peace. I understand that very well. No wonder that assess were both changed. The old Colin would never say things like this. Circumstances leave me no choice. Now I must stand on my own 2 feet. I can't be the one who leans on others anymore. And I don't think you've really changed. Before your priority was 4-4, I've simply placed more people in the priority side of your scale. Circumstances leave me no choice. That's a great resort. Neva shrugs as she quotes Carlin's own words. Making rational choices according to the facts. I don't dislike that. But one cold and emotionless machine on the team is enough. Besides, I have no consequences to bear. Lena finally has enough of Leva's self-mockery. That's not true, Leva. At the Gerard server room, you gave up the single most important thing for everyone, but you forgot. I forgot? Even though I didn't want to admit it, and at first, I was even a bit happy, thinking I'd finally become the most important person to you. But you are not what you're pretending to be. Lena, we agreed not to bring this up yet. But Rebecca already misunderstood Leva. I don't want even more people to misunderstand her. Even if I have to admit the most important to Leva isn't me, but UMP40, I still... Lena. Oh dear. Could you stop arguing and bring the person in question up to speed first? Speaking in riddles is a bad habit. I kinda had a feeling earlier. It would be really fucking sad if she genuinely forgot 40. That is... Ugh. Eva still appears nonchalant, but her eyes grow serious.
レナ、
Lena,
UMP40 って誰？
that's not okay. That is not okay. That is so not okay. Then who is this UMP-40 you just mentioned? The defiant look on Lena's face instantly shifts to nervousness at Leva's question. She's... That's enough. Leva, I was going to discuss this only after Persia gives you Neurocloud a full overhaul. Your current state isn't stable enough. I don't want you burdened by more confusion. I'm sorry for keeping this from you. Alright. Eva gives a non-committal response. She wraps the hair tie around Kalina's hair in another loop. Your hair's done. See? Still prefer the way you used to look. In the mirror, Kalina's high-side ponytail is tied with a lively red bow. Thanks. Through the mirror, Leva studies Kalina again, taking in the fluster and guilt on her face. Till this emotion settle, and Kalina's gaze clears and becomes sincere again. Leva leans down slightly, eyes still unfixed on Kalina, and Kalina's in the reflection. Kalin, we're still friends. I know your concern for me is genuine. I made the choice. I can bear the consequences. I am very confident to rule out point B. She would never do that. Mary gets to the scene. I'm not pissed, I'm just... it didn't come out of nowhere, because she had been acting weird, and had been referring to the fact that she had, like... It was obvious she was missing something, and I was like... Surely she can't have forgotten 40. Have a good night, Retsu. I'm guessing number C. I, however, also believe that they will be recovered in some way. Man. No wonder she has been really weird this entire event. Laney's the thing. Yeah, but like... You read his journal locks on the Elmo Cloud yet? I have not. Still am pissed. Yeah. Her entire experience with 40 is like one of the really, really big things that made her the person who she is, because that is the reason why she sacrifices everything for the people that are dear to her. Even if she's always been a silver-tongued, to say it in a specific way, that it's not necessarily meant in a bad way, a rat bastard. There has been moments where, in GFL 1, she was very, 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 very aggressive towards some of the people that work with her. But then when push came to shove, she didn't just try to help them. She sacrificed herself for it. But at the end of the event, I don't know when, also the fact that they kept it a secret from her is such a break and trust that fucks me. It's not... They didn't drop it out of nowhere. There was at least 2 or 3 previous moments where there was this weirdness of something missing. One we actually went through today, and another one or two had been previously. In part 1, I think. Think Rebella also nudged Leva about it at some point. Yes, she did. She did. She did. That was in part 1. For sure. No, not... Maybe not part 1. Was it in the event after this? I'm not sure. Because she mentioned something about Leva being... usually having worked to protect everyone in 4-4 and everything. And having changed priorities or something. So, it's not out of nowhere. But, like... I just think back at the moments of, like... That time when a tank almost obliterated 416, and what... She didn't just try to stop the tank, she jumped in front of it, got her own arm blown off and almost died, just to protect 416. While still being the silver-tongued rat bastard to her the whole time. Because she does care about people, she just doesn't want to get close enough to them to have the same thing as with 40 happen again. So... Man. I'll make whoever caused me to lose my memory pay. But I want to know. Next time, don't do this again. Right. Same goes for you, Lena. Promise me, okay? Sure. Just everything when she's mad. 1,000 times scarier than Klukai. Then let's leave it at that for now. Colleen, go get changed before you catch a chill. Lena, let's wait outside. Leave us smarts again. Pats Kalina lightly on the shoulder and leaves the bedroom with Lena. After changing into fresh clothes, Kalina comes out and finds Lena and Leva waiting for her. Leva's back to her usual self on the sofa, waving over cheerfully. She waits as Kalina makes her way over and sits down beside her. Well then, let's talk about that old friend that I somehow haven't forgotten. I really didn't expect to meet her on the battlefield. You mean the doll commanding the illegal automatons? She can't be Groza. When we contacted the commander earlier, we confirmed that Groza was aboard the Elma. Yeah, if the one who attacked us really were Groza, then the commander wouldn't be untrustworthy. That's impossible. The commander would never take the opposing side, and would never harm Carlin. The target probably wasn't me. It was more likely the evacuation convoy or even Odessa on the other end of the bridge. What I don't understand is, most of the illegal forces she controlled were blocked by the frontline units, and I became a last obstacle. With her specs, she could have easily eliminated me before you arrived. But not only did she not attack, she even wanted me to leave on my own. Yeah, on top of sparing you, she also kindly avoided all of Soppel's vital points. When we retrieved Soppel, her frame was in awful condition, but the damage was mostly in her limbs, like the attacker only wanted to disable her temporarily. She could have dealt with you too much more permanently. I doubt the hysterical legislator Rurik had told her to spare you out of courtesy to Numpha. But even if she seemed to be slightly on our side, still think she can't be Groza. Of course. I don't doubt the Groza we know, or the commander. I'm only puzzled by her behavior. I don't think she's a complete stranger. Before you arrived, I mentioned the commander to her on purpose. She reacted. Could be a lead. Let's talk to the commander about it later. My guess, before we get to anything further. This is the recovered frame of Groza that we left it behind at the very start when fighting Darcher. It has been recovered and modified to a level of a Gen 3 doll that is now being used by whoever we're facing. It's definitely a frame. It's definitely a frame. But she retains her memories to an extent, and while she doesn't retain full control, she retains the ability to make slight decisions about what she does exactly. Alright. Leva, turn on the TV. Weren't they broadcasting updates about the aftermath of the Gerard insurgency? Let's see what the measures of the Oblast's government is taking. Colleen, aren't you going to rest? Okay. The director will arrive in a few hours. I'll rest after the handover. Besides, right now, with the amount of information on the Odessa news, I can't afford to get my beauty sleep. Okay. Leave it on the TV. According to the latest report, all non-combat personnel of ODO-7 have safely evacuated. They are now dispersed and temporarily placed in several intake sites set up in the outskirts of Odessa and other satellite cities. The Odessa Oblast government delegates, led by Zimmerman, are currently heading to the intake sites located. One sec. Are currently heading to the intake sites located in the suburbs of Odessa to offer their condolences to the displaced. The outskirts of Odessa? Seriously? So in the end, they didn't allow them to Odessa itself. They're already making an exception by exposing the outskirts of a white zone city to collapse, radiation, and contamination. Not only do they have to bear the risk of secondary spreads, the radiation cleanup afterwards will also consume a huge amount of funds. Previously, the chaos surge caused by the illegal automatons have already been effectively contained. Under the joint efforts of local security forces, the Purification Zone Railway Corps, the Non-Military Force Administration, and individual PMCs, order is gradually being restored across all cities in the Odessa Oblast. According to investigations, the insurgency is an egregious terrorist attack jointly orchestrated by the Gerard Group, leadership and the Odessa Oblast Parliament member Rurik Gerard. As of now, several suspects have been captured. The ringleader, Rurik Gerard, is still at large. The Public Security Administration calls on residents of the Oblast to provide effective information so he can be arrested as soon as possible. They're pretty efficient this time. It's not a good thing. Can't wait to see that old villain get what he deserves. Even though we'd already submitted part of the evidence against Rurik and the Gerard Group, and those materials had already reached the Oblast court, most likely they also uncovered something else in the process. But announcing it hastily through the media this fast is unusual. What are they in such a hurry for? Keep watching. Maybe we'll find out soon enough. Since Odessa Oblast MP Rurik Gerard is suspected of major crimes, the central government has confirmed that his eligibility to run the Odessa interim leadership election is hereby revoked. The voting time will not be announced shortly. Please stay tuned for further information. The list of candidates is as follows. Let's see. The Odessa Oblast government is probably rushing to reshuffle the deck. With such a big scandal exposed, they must show their position in the central government as soon as possible. I just wonder if the hard-working legislator Zimmerman stands a chance at all. It's time to see if some online support for him. If he seizes the timing and successfully appeals to the residents' desire for peace and stability, then as the only conservative-leaning candidate, it's not impossible for him to win. Let's look forward to it. Alright, I've already sent out the mission request to Klukai's end, but the specific search area still needs confirmation. Klukai accepted it. Of course. Though she did force me to review the commission submissions procedure again. Klukai's getting more and more long-winded. You always look like you're thoroughly enjoying yourself whenever Klukai is frustrated. Guardian, once the work at Odessa is done, you'd better give us 2 days of leave, okay? Otherwise 4-4 is going to fall apart. Sure, whatever you say. Then, thanks. A month later. Once again, leaning against the full-height window, Lever watches the aerial cameras flying across the sky. I'm getting some kind of deja vu. It looks as if nothing has happened at all in Odessa, even though it's only been a month. The newly appointed interim chief will be giving his first speech today. It's a grand occasion. Back then, the residents of Odessa also rallied around Rurik like this. Now Mr. Rurik lies inexplicably in his grave, and his followers are cheering for another leader the same way. Names also rise their own neuroclouds. Did Rurik really die in a plane crash? Parts of his remains and the wreckage of his private jet have already been found near Odessa's coast. The DNA match is unmistakable. After the PSA investigation, the cause of the incident is tentatively identified as engine failure. So yes, he really did die in a plane crash. You doubt the cause of the crash? Yeah, but for most people, Rurik Gerard, this brute who murdered the former chief and triggered a full-scale upheaval, got what he deserved and died a pitiful death. The patriotic Gerard Group that manufactured and harbored a large number of illegal armed units also has its assets, fully frozen by the government, it's awaiting disposition. That's good enough for people. I really thought we'd have to spend a lot of effort proving Gerard's connection to Sextons. Yet within days, the Gerard Group itself obediently handed over all the evidence. Illegal operations, possession of heavily lethal private armed units, obstruction of justice, bribery, murder, assault, intimidations. The crime of the Gerard group in Rurik are countless. It's understandable that they're desperate to confess, sever ties, and fight for leniency. The evidence they submitted dragged out quite a few government officials who had colluded with Rurik over the years. No wonder the Gerard group could run rampant across all across the Odessa Oblast. I originally thought Fedya was already pretty high ranking, but once the list came out, a major from the SSA was basically nothing. You read the transcript of Fedya's confession, didn't you, Carlin? Yeah. According to the evidence he provided in the PSA's investigation, his entanglement with Rurik and Gerard group wasn't too deep. Rurik kept many crimes hidden from him, which ironically protected him. But he still has to pay the price for his fraud and malpractice. I heard the Odessa Supreme Court is considering reducing his sentence. Namfa must have spoken up for him, right? He only provided corroboration for his actions and performance during the Battle of Odessa Bridge. Namfa doesn't mistreat those who help us. That's true. We really didn't mistreat them. Levi eyes the TV with a meaningful expression. The inauguration speech of the interim chief has begun. Zimmerman, who once stood in the corner, now stands calmly behind the podium, accepting the flood of camera flashes. You should know that Namfa has no say in whether Zimmerman wins the position of interim chief. But his close ties with us are known across all of Odessa. Ever since the director arrived, any major and minor event with even the slightest connection to Zimmerman, or rather, interim chief Zimmerman, would invite the director as well. Mad effective, huh? He used to come dead last in the polls. When the final poll before the vote, his approval rate skyrocketed pretty much overnight, leaving the other candidates in the dust. You didn't see the speech he gave just before the vote. It was impassioned, watertight. Even that resonance in mourning and praising the former chief, publicly sharing the former chief's foresight and devotion to Odessa's future and its people. And the media, as if they had agreed in advance, heavily promoted Zimmerman's contributions during the Gerard insurgency, especially how he risked his own business and political career to persuade the Oblast government to accept evacuees. The TV station even made a documentary about how the former chief valued him, and how he inherited the former chief's philosophy of keeping the future of Odessa and its residents at heart. Why does it feel like this was all prepared long in advance? Yeah, he helped us enormously back then, but it wasn't all his doing. He was the one who initiated it, but the public doesn't care about such details. After voting began, most people who suffered during the insurgency cast their vote for Zimmerman. Then a chain of scandals took down a large portion of the government officials, and many candidates withdrew. Business people desperate to find a new patron, and politicians wanting to use Zimmerman's connections to Namfa to restore relations with the central government, all voted for him, and the one candidate whose stance was unimpeachably correct. Silently, without losing anything himself, he used the shifting situation to turn the ball around. This Mr. Zimmerman, either he's incredibly lucky, or his methods surpass even Rurik's. An imminent election is basically a timed chess match. It's not wrong for him to use every resource to win. On the screen, someone has already begun a speech. Facing the journalists, government officials, and residents of Odessa further away, he's composed and speaks eloquently. Genteel, poised, conservative, steady. He's the antithesis of Rurik. The chaos created by the Gerard group has reminded the people of Odessa of the horrors of war. Someone like someone who could soothe fear like a tranquilizer really is the leader that Odessa needs. Let's hope Odessa finds peace from here on. But looking at the investigation report that Kluka's team sent earlier, the fall of Gerard group may not mean much at all. Mangi security, and behind it, the 6th FABN group, combined with the sightings provided by the commander and the information we collected, we can basically confirm that Paradise has returned, and they're colluding with giant corporations in both the white and green zones. It's just that right now, their sphere of influence is still unclear, so we can't make any of this public. What could this be? 10 years later, not only has Paradise not died out, they've even gained troublesome new allies. That Bluesfoo who almost wiped out Kluka's entire squad earlier, plus 6 of the Narja. Jeez, how many 13 dots do they have? Whoever injured Levi on level 2 earlier is most likely one as well, but she also seemed to be targeting Gerard group. Can't make any sense of it. Unable to connect all these dots, Lena gives up and continues watching Zimmerman's speech listlessly. Kalin, is there any new lead about that lab that housed prototype Virgin dolls? Not for now, but since the situation of Vesta stabilized, the SSA and NOMPA have already begun its investigation. I hope they'll be quick about it. Across the entire URNC, who knows how many companies like Gerard are trying to take root in the whites and green zones. If they truly develop, we're in trouble. But wait, leave it. Come in, look! The other points frantically at the TV screen. The camera happens to sweep past the middle-aged man in a suit. A nameplate with the Secht FABN logo is placed on the desk before him. After the recent Elite outbreak, the Odessa Oblast government has come to deeply reflect on our oversight and regulation. Therefore, the Oblast will further integrate medical resources, strengthen inspections and regulatory procedures, and select 2 to 3 manufacturers as production partners. We will never again allow quality vaccines of unknown origin to circulate, nor will we allow unlawful groups like the Gerard Group to exploit loopholes. The Oblast government has already preliminarily selected a number of potential partners. The representatives of these companies are also attending today's events and are seated in the audience. Afterwards, the government will conduct more comprehensive audits and the companies themselves and their production lines. They just appear like that. Coincidence? No, but that's been someone's game all along. Did we get played by him? The 3 people in the room sit silently watching their television. Though the skies over their side cleared, a new shadow seems to have settled over the city. 2074, late at night. Sir, the periodic meeting is about to begin. It's very delighted with the gift you sent. It's time. Connect to the comms channel. Yes, sir. Cocoon enters the key and connects to the channel. Well, we already know who it is thanks to the other event that was run before this. The screen remains pitch black. Only tiny fluctuations in the volume bar show the presence of several participants. Then, the periodic meeting of the Orla conglomerate finally officially begins. To the representatives of Secht FABN, welcome. A few scattered claps echo through the speakers. Thank you. It's my honor. By helping us eliminate Gerard, you've shown plenty of loyalty and goodwill. As long as you don't overstep like Rurik did, we'll be partners forever. Sharing technology, wealth, power. We will share this world equally. I look forward to that day. The Lullaby project has reached a new milestone. Before we move to other topics, let us celebrate. To this moment and to every moment yet to come. Then, how about letting the newest member, our most generous friends, offer the toast? Representative of Secht FABN Winfried. Or perhaps we should respectfully address you as Mr. Zimmerman, Chief of Odessa. No need for formalities. I believe we stand as equals. Zimmerman picks up the wine glass beside him. The gleaming liquid reflects the calm nightscape of Odessa behind him. At this moment, he is immaculately dressed from head to toe, refined yet lofty, like a player of the board who surveys the world from above. For most people, withering in a dream is better than dying horribly under artillery fire. After a brief awakening comes eternal sweet slumber. Let the lullaby hum a little longer. To the age of peace. To the age of peace. The partisans are located all over. Some are shrouded in night, some touched by early dawn. Across the black screen and the invisible radio waves, several wine glasses are raised and gently clink to the edge of the world's dream. Yep, that is it. We already knew that part from the Lena event, unfortunately. Because for some reason Mika decided to run these events out of order. Fucking bastards. But it is now time for me to end the stream. It's already 11:30, and I gotta go to work tomorrow again. Well, I did today already as well, but hey. Yeah. Thank you for the headbuds. Let me quickly check who I can raid. It is quite late, so I don't know who's gonna be online. Let me... You know what? I'm gonna go and raid San, who's playing a game called Lunacid. I don't know what that is. Thank you for more headpads. Yippee! General raiding. Let me send you over there. And I will be back tomorrow. where I am not quite sure what I'll be playing yet, but we'll figure it out, I swear. It'll be fine. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. Do see you again tomorrow. I actually will probably be playing Tarkov now that I think about it. I need to finish the event because the event ends on the 8th. So I need to get into some maps and get the Colton proc. I don't know how long we'll be staying on each map, but yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Oh god, it does. Oh no. Yeah, it does. Have a good night. Bye bye. Well, yeah. Bye bye.